procession is led by Chief Faculty Marshal, Ms. Sandra Banis, Student Marshals, Matthew LaChance and Matthew Peng, and followed by the College of Health Professions flag bearer, Louis DeMarco. faculty is led by Faculty Marshals Mr. Kenneth Galbraith and Mr. Joseph Sorbello. Following the Faculty Marshals, Dr. Thomas Wolf, Distinguished Teaching Professor. The academic officers and honored guests include Mr. Sergio Garcia, Vice President for Operations and University Chief of Staff, Dr. Ramesh Shadeva, Senior Vice President, Strategic Affairs, Dr. David Amberg, Vice President for Research, Dr. Michael Reed Barrett, Distinguished Speaker, Honorary Degree Recipient, Mr. Thomas Taylor, Chair, Upstate Medical University Council, Dr. Lynn Cleary, Distinguished Teaching Professor, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Interim Dean, College of Nursing, Dr. Julie Rawls-White, Dean, Student Affairs, Ms. Heidi Butenmuller, Student Speaker, Ms. Kayla Henry, Student Speaker, Ms. Joan O'Brien, Senior Associate Dean, College of Health Professions, Ms. Susan Graham, Associate Dean, College of Health Professions, Mr. Anthony Curick, President, College of Health Professions Alumni Association, Dr. Catherine Besner, Interim Dean, College of Health Professions, Dr. Daniel Larock-Lorena, President, Upstate Medical University. Please stand for the posting of colors. The flag bearer is a veteran and student in the College of Health Professions. Ms. Kaylee Flowers, Ms. Cardiovascular Perfusion, class of 2018, is carrying the U.S. flag. Ms. Monica Morente will now sing the national anthem.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Catherine Beisner, Interim Dean and Professor, College of Health Professions.
our graduates, their friends and family, my colleagues on the faculty and administration of Upstate Medical University, and our esteemed guest. It has been a real pleasure for me to serve as the interim dean of the College of Health Professions for the past 6 months. And the greatest pleasure has been learning more about each of the programs in the college. As background, there are approximately 80 different allied health careers, comprising approximately 60% of the healthcare workforce. The relatively small and eclectic array of programs represented here on the stage may not appear to be logically linked to one another. Radiation therapy and physical therapy, cardiovascular perfusion and physician assistant, medical and biotechnology and respiratory therapy and medical imaging. On the surface, these professions don't appear to be intricately related, but really at the core, we are linked. As I have reviewed the curricula and toured the facilities and practice settings of these disciplines, I've been struck by the depth of scientific knowledge that underlies professional practice in each area. Each is built on the natural sciences, biology, chemistry, physics, and yes, even math. Professional practice in the allied health fields requires this grounding in the basic sciences so that when we apply that knowledge, it comes as second nature. Having that strong foundation allows us to layer on an appreciation of and attention to the psychological, social, and structural determinants of health that are so prevalent, the concerns are so prevalent in this world that we inhabit now. But ultimately, at the end, our professions do diverge as we weave in the specialized disciplinary knowledge and expertise that has been mastered by those we celebrate today. So today is a joyful celebration of the accomplishments of our graduates. They are science geeks, empathic professionals, and technical wizards in their field. Congratulations, graduates. Thank you.
It gives me great pleasure and honor to present Dr. Danielle LaRoccarina, President of the State University of New York, Upstate Medical University.
Good morning, our students, parents, families, friends, staff, and faculty. I hope you're enjoying the beautiful day today, and we'll try to take a deep breath as we go through this, right? Thank you for joining us for the 2017 commencement ceremonies of the State University of New York, Upstate Medical University. Today, I will have the pleasure of speaking to 4 separate but related colleges: the College of Health Professions, the College of Nursing, Graduate Studies, and the College of Medicine in that sequence. This is my second commencement, as slightly more than a year ago, I embarked in this journey as your president. A year ago, following my first commencement, I asked the university to more fully embrace the concept of one university. The concept that in the 21st century, medicine cannot be practiced in isolation if we are to achieve the most incredible outcomes not imaginable even a decade ago. The art of interprofessional education is being piloted throughout the nation, and we have not yet arrived at the perfect recipe. During the months in this past year, much has happened locally, regionally, statewide, nationally, and globally. You, our students, have been immersed in your journey to complete the stated goal of becoming health professionals, and today commence in a lifelong path of professionalism and leadership. In this next phase of your lives, as in the one you have just traversed, I want you to remember your training at Upstate and our strategic planning process, which I hope you have had a chance to view, that focuses on a unified commitment to excellence and to health. So welcome, graduates of the College of Health Professions. As I contemplated what I wanted to share in my message to you, I landed on what has preoccupied me for the past year: the role of universities, our university, and the training we provide to you, the leaders of tomorrow, and certainly the leaders of the future. My State of Upstate University, given on March 15th of this year, reflected on the status of academic medical health centers, whether they are doomed to fall, as did the Roman Empire, or to transform and adapt to the multiple healthcare delivery system, training, and research needs of the 21st century. Specifically, I reflected with you on the complex task of academic health science centers to not only train physicians, nurses, other health professionals, educators, clinicians, and researchers, but also to link them very directly and faithfully to the settings in which they will work. We discussed the explicit need to be servant to the mission to improve lives, and to do this united in our expertise that is rendered with compassion, hence fueling hope. While my State of the University reflected on the obvious questions, for example, how do we accomplish this task? How do we develop health professionals who can deliver on the promise? What must we specifically do as a university? And how does the world around us matter in the path that we choose? My task for today is to underscore the underpinnings of your training and development as humanistic health professionals. A few more observations before I share with you some conclusions, at least as I reflect upon them today. It is not news to most of us that we are in the era where the pace of change is dizzying and deeply affected by fluctuating economies, globalization, emerging technologies, research and professional and educational mandates, compelling us to strategic partnerships and alliance, as noted by many, and most recently by the educators Leaf and Yamarino in the May article in Academic Medicine. Their analysis of the current and new academic leadership paradigms are worthy of mention. They describe the current paradigm of leadership, a designer, hierarchical, heroic, military, and perhaps transformational approaches, and contrast this to the paradigm of authentic, self-shared, and networked leadership. While we do not have the luxury today of discussing at length these concepts, and I must say up front that it is likely that components of all of these are necessary and appropriate at some point in time or other, here it is simplistically. It is argued that the characteristics of the former, that is, designer, hierarchical, military, exist in fairly stable, although that could be argued, perhaps predictable environments, that too could be argued, with relatively straightforward and repetitive work with the task to deliver in specific desired outcomes, with formal leadership roles as reflected in our leadership here. For example, in academia, deans, chairs, CEOs, clear structure and processes designed to divide and coordinate responsibilities and accountability. The latter paradigm of a more shared and networked leadership organization is likely to function best in response to big, complex, and novel problems that require solutions that can be achieved with a very different structure of distributive, shared, and collective leadership to create a culture that embraces differences of perspectives and modalities and their shared sense of ownership and collaboration, a team-based approach. My musings over these paradigms leads me to conclude that while not absolute, in this complex healthcare environment in which you, our graduates, are entering, collaboration, cooperation, caring with a shared sense of purpose, vision, and commitment may be most applicable. You will have to test this for yourselves. So let me address the class of 2017, class of the College of Health Professionals. You are a diverse group, as reflected by the Dean, a professional specializing in cardiovascular perfusion, medical technology, medical biotechnology, medical imaging, radiation therapy, and respiratory therapy at the undergraduate level, and at the graduate level, medical technology, physician assistant studies, and physical therapy. The diversity of, thank you for that light, the diversity of your studies is reflective of the increasing complexity of health professions and the focus on subspecialization, but I am particularly happy today to address each of the 4 colleges to urge you to work in unison. The complexity of healthcare today demands of all of us a change in our interactions as professionals to be increasingly efficient, seamless in communication, and united in our expertise to improve health. Please don't lose focus on that. I hope that Upstate University's commitment to interprofessional education has been palpable to you, and you go forth in your roles to echo this commitment. But in the practice of medicine, each in your own individual roles, I hope you will be grounded in the ethical practice of your craft. I urge you to use your intellect, your training, your expertise, your compassion, and your ethical stance as health professionals to uphold the oath to do no harm and to do good. I urge you to make the tough choices and to immerse yourselves in those difficult and uncomfortable, at times, conversations in your roles as individuals, as members of a community, and as health professionals. I invite you to embrace a shared and collaborative leadership paradigm that engages diverse colleagues, invites thoughtful disagreement and critical thinking, and by its very nature is inclusive and of the highest caliber. I am hopeful that your training here at Upstate Medical University has prepared you well to embrace all the challenges you will encounter and to guide your path forward. Thank you all, and congratulations on your incredible accomplishments.
Heidi Butenmauer, a graduate in the respiratory therapy program, has been invited to speak as the undergraduate student speaker. Will Ms. Butenmauer please come forward?
Good morning. So for the past couple of nights, I've had this horrible nightmare that I get all the way up here and I realize instead of grabbing my speech, I've actually grabbed my last exam. So, moment of truth. Good, you're getting the speech today. Thomas S. Monson said, "To express gratitude is gracious and honorable. To enact gratitude is generous and noble. But to live with gratitude ever in our hearts is to touch heaven." We would be remiss if we did not thank certain people in our lives today. I thank my Creator, for it is God's hand that has shaped my life. We are grateful to our families, friends, and loved ones who join us today. Thank you for your patience, support, and understanding as we disappeared for long hours to study, for your faith in us when we doubted ourselves. To our professors who truly did the heavy lifting, who answered our questions again and again and again and again until comprehension finally dawned, much to their relief, I'm sure. From you, we have learned how to learn, a lifetime habit that we thank you for. To our preceptors who first built the bridges between learning and practice, who patiently worked the fear from our eyes as we first practiced those things that now seem second nature, we applaud your dedication to teaching. And we mustn't forget, of course, the silent sponsors that sustained us through those many late nights, Starbucks, Dunkin', and Red Bull. Life is often compared to a race, and to my fellow graduates, I extend a warm congratulations on reaching the starting line. Yes, I do mean the starting line. An Olympic athlete does not simply walk up to a starting line and become a world champion. No, prior to that starting gun, there were years of practice and discipline. Hundreds of hours were spent interval training, sprinting, and running for stamina. Exploding out of the blocks was practiced thousands of times. Regional and national competitions were won, and qualifying races all led up to the moment they first took that starting line. You are no different. You too have spent hours training and practicing skills until they became second nature, finessing your abilities. With every exam you passed, you qualified for this moment, the moment that you commence to run. Now, the finish line is going to be different for each of us. It might be continuing education, change additional careers, or retirement that end this particular race for us. But the finish line is not the most important thing, not even to that Olympic runner. For if we are not committed to the race, we will never cross the finish. What we must do today is commit to the race. Joyce DiNonato wisely advises that one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself right here, right now, in this single, solitary, monumental moment in your life, is to decide without apology to commit to the journey and not to the outcome. So as we start in this race together today, let us see how fast we can run. It's time to see what we are capable of, because there is tragedy in not knowing the true length of our stride. Never be content with mediocrity, personally or professionally. Remember that what is right can never be impossible. It might not be easy, and it might not be popular, but it's never impossible. Work hard, play hard, change lives. Show how big your brave is. Singer Julie Andrews implores us to use your knowledge and your heart to stand up for those who can't speak. Stand up for those who can't stand. Speak for those who can't speak. Be a beacon of light for those whose lives have become dark. Fight the good fight and be a part of all that is good and decent. Be an ambassador for the kind of world that you want to live in. Our professions are now ours, to advocate, to promote, to improve, and to protect. Be wise stewards of them. Ours are service-oriented professions, but remember, the most important hours you spend in service are the ones not attached to a paycheck, because the great and curious truth of the human experience is that selflessness is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Err in the direction of kindness and avoid that which will reduce you or make you trivial. Commencement doesn't just mean to graduate, it means to start. Congratulations on reaching the beginning of a journey. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for helping us get here. And to my fellow graduates, I say, on your mark, get set, go. Thank you.
Kayla Henry, a graduate in the Physician Assistant Studies program, has been invited to speak as the graduate student speaker. Will Ms. Henry please come forward?
Throughout our time studying for exams and preparing for long clinical days, we depend on our instructors and our clinical preceptors to guide us in taking care of our patients. We hang on every word and write down as much as we can. We try our best to memorize the pearls of wisdom that were so generously passed on in hopes that someday we will proudly find a place for them in our own practice. We are so grateful, but it is our patients who teach us invaluable lessons. As we head further into practice, we will be allowed into people's lives in a way that no one else in society is permitted. We will see amazing things, and we will develop extraordinary abilities. Some of our skills come strictly from exposure and repetition over time. Those are the easy ones. It is the moments that are challenging and frustrating and tiring with a patient that will teach us that medicine is not just chemistry and biology. It is not just black and white. It is all that plus a mind-body-spirit connection, acceptance, patience, and faith. We don't learn how to navigate through those encounters while we are sitting in class or even observing as a student. We learn in the thick of it, with our shirt sleeves rolled up, blood and sweat on our arms, and tears rolling down our cheeks. Our patients ask us to do hard things, to educate them on their disease, how to manage their pain, to support them and guide them. They even ask us how to say their final goodbye to a loved one. They will not only seek your medical advice, but inadvertently, they will look for your heart. Along the way, you will sometimes feel worn down and your cynicism taking over, but resist. Pay attention to your patients. Learn how they live and how they feel, and join with them the plan to make their stay here on earth that much better. It is how we choose to listen to our patients that will guide us in caring for them and providing for them the treatment they deserve. So when it's time for all of us to move on into practice, it's important to assess how we want to take care of our patients. The most important question to ask every day is, what's the goal? If the goal is to provide thorough education for your patient, then you will do your research and you will teach them everything they need to know to help them with a care plan. If the goal is to reassure your patient before a procedure or a major surgery, then you will ease their worries with honesty and confidence in your team. If your goal is to afford end-of-life care, then you will become a companion to your patient, offer comfort measures, minister to the family, and always, always listen. Don't be afraid to sit in silence. Continue to move forward with a goal, and don't let this gilded age of information technology distract you from what matters most, our patients. They demand our respect and our intelligence. So put your cell phone down. Build a rapport and make a connection. Patients will confide in you, trust in you, and greatly appreciate your efforts. We chose to help those in need, and to serve our patients is our greatest privilege. Best of luck to all of us. Stay strong, work hard, and appreciate all you've got. Thank you.
The degrees from the College of Health Professions will now be conferred by President Rock Arena. Dr. Catherine Besner, Interim Dean of the College, will present the recipients of the degrees in the College of Health Professions. Undergraduate students receiving academic honors have met the following grade point criteria: summa cum laude, 3.9 to 4.0. Magna cum laude, 3.75 to 3.899. Cum laude, 3.6, 3.749. Graduate students receiving academic honors have met the following grade point average: high honors, 3.9 to 4.0. Honors, 3.8 to 3.899. Post-professional doctorate of physical therapy graduates are not eligible for honors.
With the completion of the curriculum, they will have satisfied the requirements established by the faculty and have been recommended by the faculty for the conferring of these degrees.
Will all candidates for the Bachelor of Science and the Bachelor of Professional Studies degrees in the College of Health Professions please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the State University of New York, upon completion of all requirements, I confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Professional Studies, with all its rights, privileges, and obligations. Please come forward to be individually recognized and for induction into the College of Health Professions Alumni Association.
As we individually recognize Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Professional Studies graduates, would each department chairperson please join me in congratulating the graduates?
Joining Dr. LaRock Arena and Dr. Besner in congratulating our graduates are the following department chairs: Mr. Bruce Searles, Cardiovascular Perfusion; Ms. Susan Graham, Clinical Laboratory Sciences; Mr. David Clementi, Medical Imaging Sciences; Ms. Joan O'Brien, Radiation Therapy; and Claire Alone and Mr. Joseph Sorbello, Respiratory Therapy. Jamie Burns, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Jordan Donald, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor of Science. Kellen Hansen, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor of Science. Amanda Lovett, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. Kelsey Reddick, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor of Science. Felicia Sugars, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor of Science, cum laude, Clinical Excellence Award. Kristen Wilson, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude, Academic Excellence Award. Allison Aleswire, Medical Biotechnology, Bachelor of Science, Student Research Award. Elizabeth Blake, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude. Hannah Castor, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science. Lilia Dila, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science. Shada Hamad, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science, cum laude, Barbara Ganola Memorial Scholarship Award. Honey Hotalera, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science. Valerie Kosiba, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Luke, Medical Biotechnology, Bachelor of Science, cum laude, Student Research Awards. Brandon Mack, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science. Michael Miller Jr., Medical Biotechnology, Bachelor of Science, cum laude, Student Research Award. Shelby Morgan, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science. Alessia Moiko, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science. Matthew Powell, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude. Cassandra Rolfe, Medical Technology, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Faith Bentley, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Professional Studies, summa cum laude. Alexandria Perkowski, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Christina Bromka, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science. Caitlin Casselaire, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science. Caitlin Coningsby, Medical Imaging Science, Bachelor of Science. Michelle Diaz, Medical Imaging Science, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Devin Drake, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science. Allison Elliott, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Casey Farah, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. Jillian Gray, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science. Terry Herzog, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. Petros Kamis, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Haley Kiefer, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude. Barbara Kreinova, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Professional Studies, summa cum laude, outstanding academic achievement. Stephanie Laboulis, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude. Yeah, I got it. Joseph Nolan Jr., Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Professional Studies, summa cum laude. Allison Poole, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Holly Ross, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude, outstanding academic achievement. Stacy Shearing, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Professional Studies, summa cum laude. Desiree Taffner, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Angela Warner, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Kenneth Morheiser, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. Forrester White, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science. Mecca Wickinson, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. Sarah Zabek, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Danielle Zamanek, Medical Imaging Sciences, Bachelor of Professional Studies, magna cum laude. Grace Bohal, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Science. Andrew Brown, Radiation Therapy, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. Serena Eves, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Science. Francesco Gattani Lizeo, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Professional Studies, summa cum laude. Michael C. Henry, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. Bailey Michaels, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Science. Tamara Schaefer, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Professional Studies, summa cum laude, Academic Achievement Award. Emily Shearman, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Professional Studies. Kira Thalaker, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Science. Megan Walker, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Science. Ryan Zeeland, Radiation Therapy Technology, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. Justin Baker, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science. Heidi Butenmuller, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, cum laude, Outstanding Student Award, College of Health Professions Dean's Outstanding Student Award. Louis DeMarco, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude, New York State Society for Respiratory Care, Central New York Chapter, Distinguished Student Award, Lambda Beta National Honor Society for Respiratory Care. Venice Elliott, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude, Academic Achievement Award, New York State Society for Respiratory Care, Central New York Chapter, Academic Achievement Award, Lambda Beta National Honor Society for Respiratory Care. Farzana Israei, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science. Diedrich Johnson, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, cum laude. Stephna Matthew, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude. Danielle Mayville, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Practice Award. Kristen Robb, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude, Lambda Beta National Honor Society for Respiratory Care. Brianna Riggle, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science. Emily Schmid, Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, cum laude.
President LaRocca-Reina, as Interim Dean of the College of Health Professions, I have the honor to present these recipients of the degree Master of Science. With the completion of the curriculum, they will have satisfied the requirements established by the faculty and have been recommended by the faculty for the conferring of this degree.
Will all the candidates for the Master of Science degree in the College of Health Professions please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the State University of New York, upon completion of all requirements, I confer upon you the degree Master of Science with all its rights, privileges, and obligations. Please come forward to be individually recognized and for induction into the College of Health Professions Alumni Association.
As we individually recognize the Master of Science graduates, they will be hooded and congratulated by members of their department.
Matthew Brady, Medical Technology, Master of Science. Paulo Moracha, Medical Technology, Master of Science, Medical Scholars, Student Research Award. Diana Perez, Medical Technology, Masters of Science, Medical Scholars, Honors, Student Research Award. Elizabeth Reyes Fondeur, Medical Technology, Masters of Science, Medical Scholars, Honors, Student Research Award. Alexa Sykes, Medical Technology, Masters of Science, Medical Scholars, Student Research Award. Kusai Ali Khan, Medical Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Margaret Arlington, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Bridget Banke, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Crystal Bastine, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Ronald Bastine, Physician Assistant, Masters of Science. Jocelyn Bender, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Kenneth Cook, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Christiana Dankwa, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Stephen DiBattista, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Colin Donahue, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Sarah Donahue, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Molly Fury, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Jessica Gaborio, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Amanda Holloway, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. George Gabriel, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors, Outstanding Academic Award. Amanda Guider, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Morgan Galtieri, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Sarah Harrison, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Kayla Henry, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Eric Gunther, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Ryan Koch, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Ellen Coleman, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Zachary Kitchen, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors, Outstanding Clinical Award. Timothy Kajowski, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Amy LaRosa, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Angelica Mazzola, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Heather McLean, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Rachel Munganast, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Amy Norris, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Maureen Randall, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Danielle Sawyer, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors. Ann Shoemaker, Physician Assistant, Master of Science. Michael Skrupa, Physician Assistant, Master of Science, High Honors.
President LaRocca Rainham, as Interim Dean of the College of Health Professions, I have the honor to present these recipients of the degree Doctor of Physical Therapy. With the completion of the curriculum, they will have satisfied the requirements established by the faculty and have been recommended by the faculty for the conferring of this degree.
Will all candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy degree in the College of Health Professions please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the State University of New York, upon completion of all requirements, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Physical Therapy, with all its rights, privileges, and obligations. Please come forward to be individually recognized and for induction into the College of Health Professions Alumni Association.
Graduates in the Doctor of Physical Therapy program are being hooded by Dr. Michelle Dolphin and Dr. Catherine Besner. Dr. Dylan Caswell, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Student Research Award. Dr. Danielle Sergula, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Michael Comesso, Doctor of Physical Therapy, High Honors, Academic Achievement Award, Student Research Award. Dr. Emily Cody, Doctor of Physical Therapy, High Honors, Academic Achievement Award, Kevin J. Reister Memorial Scholarship. Dr. Ryan Cullen, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Student Research Award. Dr. Elizabeth Darrow, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Anna Maria Dowker, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Julian Egan, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Go ahead. Dr. Naomi Ipe, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Honors. Dr. Mary Beth Flynn, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Nicholas Francisco, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Emily Hersey, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Rosemary Kolb, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Abigail Lynn, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Honors. Dr. Gregory Lloyd, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Lauren McIntyre, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Michelle Murray, Doctor of Physical Therapy, high honors. Dr. Robert Osborne, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Megan Passerell, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Meredith Pettit, Doctor of Physical Therapy, high honors. Dr. Thomas Quincy, Doctor of Physical Therapy, high honors. Dr. Maritza Rodriguez, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Community Service Award. Dr. Patrick Schroeder, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Lawrence Stokely, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Jason Torrey, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Alicia Vann, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Pamela Grammett, Physical Therapy Endowed Scholarship winner. Dr. Joseph Valeco, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Honors, Clinical Excellence Award. Dr. Brittany Young, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Michaela Northrup, Doctor of Physical Therapy.
The oath of the health professions, which is printed in your program, will be administered by Mr. James Bosler, Assistant Professor in the Medical Technology Education Program. Will the graduates in the College of Health Professions please rise?
Will all graduates of the College of Health Professions please recite with me? In the presence of my colleagues, family, friends, and teachers, I proudly make this solemn vow. Nope. Dr. Catherine Besner will now present the Dean's Outstanding Student Award.
Each year, the faculty in the College of Health Professions has the opportunity to nominate a student for the Dean's Outstanding Student Award. This award is given to a student who combines academic excellence and outstanding campus, professional, and community activities while matriculated as a College of Health Professions program. This year, we have selected Ms. Heidi Butenmuller from the Respiratory Therapy Education Program. Heidi, please come forward to receive your award.
It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Anthony Kurek, President of the College of Health Professions Alumni Association.
Good morning, students, parents, and faculty. I am most appreciative of being asked today to represent the College of Health Professions Alumni Association. It's an honor to be able to participate in recognizing the graduates of this first-class college and its newly minted health professionals. Commencement speakers are supposed to say something pithy and thought-provoking, so here's my pith. You're all aware of the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. Well, I suggest that you don't confuse it with the Hippocratic Oath, that is, do as I say and not as I do. As many of you will be leaders in your field, and as leaders, you will need to walk the talk and be what I call a B-lister. That is, someone who will be fair, be credible, be a good listener, be humble, believe in your convictions, and probably most important of all, be the kind of leader you want to follow. So as you begin your careers, take pride in your accomplishments and recognize the future holds many opportunities. You now have the tools to build a beginning that will lead to your legacy. As part of your legacy, you've just walked across the stage in your cap and gown, you become a graduate, an alumnus. Of the many things you may become in the future, you instantly become a member of the Health Professions Alumni Association. The Alumni Association is a large network of professionals, of fellow graduates, who are there to help you. So we encourage you to visit the alumni website for news and to stay connected. By staying connected, you can sustain a network of friends, both personal and professional. Also watch your mailbox for alumni newsletter, which will keep you up to date on the college and the ever-growing campus and your classmates. It will be a place where you can also share your own personal and professional news in addition to keeping up with other graduates. After graduation, your Upstate email account will terminate within 5 months or so, so please make sure that you stay in touch by updating your contact information with us. And finally, as a token of our appreciation and recognition of our future health professionals, the pin you have received today will serve as a reminder, a gift from the Alumni Association, which we hope you will wear proudly. Congratulations and welcome to the best years of your lives.
We will now hear remarks from Dr. Michael Reed Barrett, who will be awarded an honorary degree at the College of Medicine commencement ceremony later today. Dr. Barrett is a National Aeronautics Space Administration, NASA, physician astronaut, one of the nation's few specialists and duly trained in medicine and aerospace medicine. Please refer to your commencement program for additional information about Dr. Barrett, and please join me in welcoming him to the podium.
All right, thank you. And thank you to President Lorac-Arena for allowing me to share this special day with you. I'm really honored and really amazed, actually, to be here with you on this day. It's a big milestone in your careers and your professional lives, and I hope that you are all very duly proud and satisfied with your accomplishments. And I hope and I sense that you're surrounded by your loved ones, your parents, your siblings, your spouses, your friends, who really understand what you've accomplished and have sacrificed, really, to get to this point. And hopefully you all have an intricate understanding of what they now know. But I bet that's not the case. My mom still doesn't think I have a real job. What these guys have learned is cutting edge, it's new, it's modern, and it doesn't stop here. And so now into the future. As I looked across the disciplines in the College of Health Professions, and I realized that we touch pretty much all of these at NASA. We have physician's assistants. We have radiology and ultrasound techs on staff at NASA. And yeah, we even do ultrasounds in space, believe it or not. Typically, these are guided real-time by ground technicians like you guys that train us before flight. And after a long-duration space flight, when we've spent hundreds of days in weightlessness, we come to the ground and we're pretty much like Jell-O being poured into a mold. And so physical therapists and rehab specialists are very key to us. They're vital as we get reaccustomed to Earth's gravity. We have to field medical technology in what we consider a very high-tech but very remote environment. And we have some fairly talented people to make that happen, like you guys. And we certainly hope not to utilize cardiac reperfusion in space. I'll have to say that right now. But we are actually very keen on that technology for the future. So the bottom line is I've had the opportunity to see most of your professions being practiced over my many years at NASA. And with this understanding, I would like to share some insights, some things that a career at NASA has taught me. Most of these are fairly intuitive, but I would say that they've been uniquely hammered home to me in this area. First is global optimism. As Dr. Lorac-Arena noted, there's a lot of turmoil in the world, and you can easily let the day-to-day news of the present really cloud the future. Some of the best trends, though, occur over time, and they get lost in the current kerfuffle. And I want to give a couple of examples that have really spoken to me. The Cold War was still simmering when I was young, and the idea of cooperative projects between the U.S. and the Soviet Union was fairly distant. I think some of you are from that duck and cover era. There was one shining event, though, a single joint mission that was done between the U.S. and the Soviet Union in 1975. This was the Apollo-Soyuz test program. And two spacecraft, the Soyuz and Apollo, joined up in orbit, and they gave us a glimpse of what was possible. And although there were no plans to follow on after that, there were a few souls, and myself included when I was in high school, that were profoundly inspired by this. Now fast forward many years, during which I and others have worked extensively with our Russian counterparts in joint work, starting about 1991. A couple of years ago, I had the privilege to address some students, senior students from the College of Aviation and Aerospace, the Bauman Institute in Moscow, actually one of the most prestigious in the world. And I was talking about one of my favorite subjects, the human in space, and it hit me that we have been working jointly with our Russian counterparts for longer than these kids have been alive. And these are graduating seniors. They have never known a time when the US and Russia weren't working cooperatively. Cold War is history to them. They have to read about it. So there are now decades of relationships and experiences that really transcend our current administrations and our past history. And I think that's had a tremendous stabilizing effect on this world, something that really people don't see, but we feel every day. I think there's no better cause for optimism, a reason for optimism than that. Another example of global optimism is just the sheer power of the health and medical technology that's developed over the years that many of you are now intensely familiar with, much more than I probably. The instruments and techniques for medical imaging, clinical analysis, delivery of therapeutic radiation, for example, these equip us like never before to deliver health care to the world. I'm sorry to say I've been around long enough to note the very stark differences in these last 30 years, but 3 decades in the medical profession has seen us develop amazing tools to minister to the health needs of the world. And many of you have now acquired these skills to apply these with precision. And it now becomes more the application and distribution of these tools, which is where many of you come in to minister to our world. But what a great step forward this is. Another thing, working across your differences. Healthcare, like spaceflight, is very much a team sport. And in our case, a very international one. The International Space Station program involves 5 space agencies and 17 nations. And I wish I could say it was seamless and easy to make everybody work together. It's not. We started out early full of enthusiasm and full of international goodwill to iron out our differences and build something complex together. But we crashed hard often while we were trying to do this, trying to meld ourselves into a homogeneous team. Well, guess what? They don't think like we do. The Russians, the Japanese, the Canadians, the French, the Germans, they think totally differently, and we are equally puzzling to them. But we don't have to think alike. We don't even have to agree on everything. And we've learned to live with our differences and work around them, and at times celebrate them, rather than trying to diminish them. Now, I'll tell you, on my longest space flight, which was 199 days in orbit, my crew consisted of 6 souls, 2 Russians, a Canadian, a Japanese, a Belgian, and myself. And you might guess that there are a few things from politics to food choices that we didn't necessarily agree on. And it was okay. And we were an extremely cohesive crew. And when people ask me what were my best memories about being in space, gathering with my shipmates around the galley table every day, twice a day, which we did, by the way, I think that ranks right up there with just experiencing weightlessness and looking at the impossibly beautiful Earth from space. We shared music, from Van Halen to the Brandenburg Concertos, and food, from borscht to Japanese seaweed soup. We became an extremely cohesive team. And more importantly, there were hundreds of representatives from the many countries working together on the ground every day, working across lines of language, culture, very different methodical approaches, and very different politics. And I think a good sign of that is that there's many intermarriages in the International Space Station program, and I'm happy to say that some of those have produced children that are now in college, which I think having them in this generation, again, is an amazing testament to what we've meant to the world. You'll all be taking your unique skills now into the community, and you will encounter plenty of folks that don't think like you, just like we have, but work across those differences. You will be united in a very common goal to improve the health of the individual and the community, the region, the world, and hopefully try new food and music along the way. Another thing, never too late to make a career change, and now I may be talking to some of you out there, and I think some of you already know this. I was a very happy flight surgeon at NASA, and at first I never dreamed of applying to the astronaut corps, so that's another lesson. You need to play to win, and it's okay to have a big dream. But the idea first germinated in me at the age of 35, and I was 40 when I was selected as an astronaut. It's a major career change. And I think a very common theme among members of my class, the class of 2000, we're called the Millennium Bugs, by the way, is that none of us thought it would be us. None of us thought that we would be selected. So at whatever stage you are, don't hesitate to follow an open door if it's the right thing to do. Don't let age get in the way of that. I will tell you that I turned 50 during my long flight in orbit.
just so that I know some of you are doing math, so I just gave that to you. Now, the other thing is we often direct our career guidance words towards the young entering the workforce, but keep in mind and do not fear a radical redirection if it makes sense for you. Another point, lifelong learning. It's true in medicine, it's true in spaceflight. You can never, never know enough. And if you think you know enough, somebody needs to talk to you. When we get selected as astronauts, a lot of folks immediately start congratulating us on how awesome we must be. That all dies on day one of training. And for you, a lot of you are going to be challenged on day one of practice, where both your instructors, the real world, your patients, your colleagues are going to remind you of how little you really know with your newly minted pedigree. Pretty much every day during training, I did what we call paying the idiot tax for something I didn't know. I've been at NASA for 26 years. I still pay the idiot tax daily. And again, you learn that any astronaut who thinks they have it all down is dangerous. Fortunately, that's not our culture these days. One thing that is, though, most of us are happiest when we're learning new things. And I hope this becomes true in your world as well. It's been a grind. You've worked really hard to get to where you are now. Now, the motivation for learning is making your craft, your practice better, serving your patients better, and it really rocks to keep learning something new. It keeps you young. As for us, the real world will teach you. And in turn, you now have a responsibility to teach and mentor. Pass on what you know. For many of your professions in particular, a lot of the critical skills are documented okay in books, but a lot of it's going to be in your head and your hands. You're going to know things, you're going to feel things that just aren't well documented. Take the time to pass those on. A little bit about borders and boundaries. Now, I'll tell you that the Earth is absolutely beautiful from space. It's very hard to describe. If we could share one physical experience with everybody, it would be seeing your home planet from space. You see blue oceans, swirling clouds, white clouds, forests, deserts. It's just impossibly beautiful hanging out there in the blackness of space. And by the way, we circle the globe about every 90 minutes in orbit, so 16 sunrises and sunsets a day. But we never tire of looking at the Earth. One thing you notice, though, in pretty short order is that there's no borders. You're trying to pick out a country. You're looking for those nice orderly lines. They don't exist. So it's pretty hard to recognize countries when you're used to looking at a political map. But those lines are just that, artificial lines drawn on a map. And the same is true of your careers. A lot of the borders and the boundaries you think you see are indeed just artificial lines. So you've passed one big boundary, one big milestone right now. There will be others. And just be sure you don't let those lines get in your way. If it's time to punch through them, go for it. You need to look at that landscape differently. You need to navigate by what you see and by what you feel rather than what others tell you and what you just assume to be true. Never get so deeply entrenched that you stop looking for doors and opportunities. And in conclusion, after a space mission, the way we like to feel after landing is exhausted but giddy with success. Exhausted because we gave our all, but giddy because we did our best and it really paid off. But we pretty quickly retool our thinking to the future, to the next mission, and to where we can best use our experience that comes at a high price. So may it be the same for you. All of you have professions that rely heavily on the skill in your fingertips and the eye that you're going to develop for practice. You must never stop perfecting. I wish you the very best and look forward to your future of caring for our nation's health. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Barrett, for those inspiring and thought-provoking words. This concludes our ceremony. Please join me in congratulating all of our graduates one more time. Oh, happy day. There will be a reception immediately following this ceremony at the campus activity building. A photographer is available to take photos of the graduates with their families and faculty. And as a reminder, graduates need to recess to the outside of the building, so you'll need to meet them outside. Now please remain seated until the faculty and graduates have exited, and have a wonderful day.